Today's video is about Flux CI/CD. Previously, we did a video about GitLab CI/CD that stays valid, and that one we are still gonna use for containerizing our applications or making a new package and so on. That's something on the side. But with Flux, we are going to handle our deployments into Kubernetes, and I'm going to show you the advantages of using Flux over, for example, GitLab CI/CDs and so on for deployments. Well, with that being said, let's just jump into it, see how it works. Okay, so what is Flux exactly? It is a CI/CD tool which is going to help you apply or manage your deployments easier in Kubernetes. And what do I mean by deployments? Either Helm charts, either deploying raw Kubernetes resources, doesn't matter. You're going to use Flux, and it's going to give you this flexibility of this deployment, and it is only going to use the Helm, like not the Helm, but Git revisions for doing the for handling the versions. So you don't have a Helm version and a Git version. So basically, you can roll back your Git, and immediately it's going to roll back the release in your cluster. So that's the beauty of it, right? So you are much more flexible with Flux. But how does it work? So it has a CLI tool, which we are going to install soon. It starts, of course, with Flux, and you have to bootstrap a cluster. And for each source control system, it's different. For example, for GitLab, for GitLab, it's going to, it has some GitLab commands. And what will happen is that it's going to push, as you see, it has been pushed by the Flux user, and it's going to push certain custom components which Flux itself needs, like the namespace itself, and a lot more like the network policies and everything that Flux needs to handle all of these different namespaces you are going to introduce in cluster by itself. So as you see, Flux has created also a namespace for itself. It's running some pods here, and it has some services. Most importantly, there are some custom resource definitions which we are going to use, and yeah, that's all. Now how it works is that you are going to create your applications folder inside the cluster that you just bootstrap. So I have this Tiba, and Tiba is releasing into home namespace. So if I go to home namespace, I see that some pods are running here, and all of these pods are installed by Flux. And if I go to custom resource definitions, I see that there is a Git repository called Smart Home, and surprisingly, that repository also exists here. So what it says basically, it says, hey, there are some stuff in this repository, pull them. That's it. It doesn't say anything else. That's all it says. And then it's going to come to the release, say, okay, now what should I do with this repository? And it says, okay, this is a Helm release, and your source is this Git repository. You are going to read from it and then apply these values and release it. Since it's a Helm chart, what will happen now is it's going to create a Helm chart custom resource definition for this Git repository, which has the Helm definitions in it, and then it's going to create a release from this Helm chart based on my values. So it's pretty simple, and these values are highly customizable. I don't mean because it's Helm. Yes, it's Helm, it's customizable, but you can also put them into a config map, and Flux will read them from the config map. So that's also possible. You can also release these values from another repository into here, so it can also read these from somewhere else and then apply them, but you can just keep them in the same place because mostly they may not be this many values. Unless you have a very big chart, then you need to manage it. But that's maybe for another video, or just let me know if you're interested into something like that or just have the same problem so we can get into that. Yeah, so I would say now let's make an example. What I'm going to do is that, so this is a working cluster, I'm not going to touch this. I'm going to bootstrap a cluster under the same repository. So I'm going to have a new cluster here. And then I'm going to initiate a Minikube cluster, and then I'm going to install the same Tiba application on that cluster with everything that we discussed. So we see how we can create the secrets, how does it change, how are the different configuration which you can try, and so on. And there are some twists. Maybe I will create a video later about them too, but for now, let's just get started and then get your attention on the manner. Interesting. Let's get started with the practical part. Well, the first step to use Flux is to install it, right? So you have plenty of options, not plenty of options, you have Mac, Linux, and Windows options, and you can go on and install it. I already have it installed, so I'm not going to do that again. After you finish the installation, you need to bootstrap a repository. There is a documentation on how you can do it in each application, for example, Bitbucket, GitHub, GitLab, and so on. I'm gonna use GitLab, and there is a very clear and well documented documentation here. So I already have a GitLab token in place. So if I come to my personal access token, I have already this. It has all of the rights. It doesn't need all of the rights. I don't know if it's documented here, but no, it's not. But if you think about it, what it needs is that it needs to read a repository, write into a repository, it needs the APIs, it needs to read the users, and that's all. Yeah, that's all it needs. So this is all it needs for that. So since I already have this environment variable set, I don't need to enter any token. But if you do not have this set, when you run this command, it's going to ask you give me the token. So just put it beforehand, and then you're good to go every time you're going to bootstrap a repository. So in this case, I don't need to run this command because I'm not going to have the repository under my personal account. I have it under a group under my personal account, which is like this group. So in that case, I'm just going to take this, and we'll just have a VS Code because we have to edit this. My group is called, let me see, the group name is this one. My repository is called Devops. The branch is the main branch, and the clusters is Minikube. We already have a cluster, so the home cluster, and which is this one, we need another directory. It's going to create another directory, and under that it's going to have another Flux system for the new cluster. But before we start, we have to make sure Minikube is already up, so let's bring that up.
2 days later.
Okay, I just started Minikube and ran the dashboard command. So as you see, here's like a plain cluster. It has Nginx ingress running and some default Kubernetes resources. Now we need to initiate Flux on this cluster based on this command. Before we continue, I'm not targeting to actually run my application completely here because I need some extra configuration and apps running around it. For example, cert manager and so on is needed. But for now, we are going to just use Flux to deploy everything. So now if I run the command which we just changed a little bit, what will happen is that Flux is going to go on and create a new folder here. So if I come under clusters, and as you see, as I also said, Minikube directory is created, and under it the same resources. It says do not edit. I guess before they haven't had that. Let's see this. Oh no, they had it. I've just overseen it. Okay. Yeah, so now my cluster is initiated, and now we can go on and create our own application, right? So this is this Tiba folder. For that, I have to pull this repository, which I already have it, and let me just check this one. Don't save that. Okay, so I have the Minikube here. I'm going to copy one by one out, so you will see what will happen. So here I'm gonna copy this repository, and I'm going to put it under the home namespace. The home namespace doesn't exist here. I'm going to create it. So I have the home namespace now. I'm going to change some stuff, but before we continue and apply this, what is this? So this is the question. What is this coming from? So Flux itself right now has access to my GitLab, but it also needs, per of these clusters, explicit access to each repository that I'm going to fetch something from. So for that, I have to create a deployment token. Where do I create that? Well, I'm going to come under my repository, which I am going to introduce as the Git repository. And then I'm going to come under settings and then go to repository. Under repository I'm on GitLab. Under the repository, I have the deploy tokens. I already have one. I'm going to create a new one. I'm not going to give all of the access because I'm going to show you it's not needed. So I'm not going to call it home. I already have one home. I'm going to call it miniq. And this one only needs to read the repository. You do not need to read anything else. And yeah, that's about it. And as soon as you do that, you are going to get a username and a password. By the time that I will do this video, I'm going to remove this, so don't get excited. I'm going to remove this token. But let's actually now use this token to initiate our cluster. So let me come back to here. I already have the command here documented. So I need to run this command, flux create secret and so on. For this smart home, as you see, it's already placed in there. This is the URL of my repository, the username password which I just got here, and the namespace that I want to create is secret inside it, so which in my case it's home. And I'm going to just copy this, put this here, and then I'm going to put this username right here, and also this password, and the namespace is home. Everything is looking gorgeous, and the secret is created. So now if I come under the home namespace, under secrets, I have the GitLab authentication, and the username password that I wanted is already placed inside this secret folder. So now what do I need? So now I need to just push. So that's wrong, but now I'm gonna come here. I say, okay, I have everything. We are going to change this soon. Then say miniq cluster tiba added, tiba repo added for miniq cluster, for example. Then apply. We are going to apply one by one and see what will happen. So if we have done everything correctly, what should have happened is that when I come under home, and then here, if I come under the Git repository, at some point I have to see that it is applied here. If it is not applied here, there is a nice extension here for Flux. You can just search here Flux, and then you will have GitHub tools for Flux. You can just get this extension, and then I have it here called GitHubs, and then I'm gonna come here and just reconcile my sources here. So it's going to refetch this repository that I just pushed something. As you see now, it's detected. So it was just a matter of 1 minute time until it pulls something. Because as you can see, if I come to here, yeah. So the Git repository, which is the Devops repository, has a 1 minute interval. So it takes 1 minute until it reads something. And so now let's check again. Yep. So the repository is read. I do not have any workloads yet because I didn't publish the Helm release. So if I come here, I also have my repository here. But now let's check the Flux documentation for Git repositories. Git repository Flux. So we want to change this interval. So I'm pretty sure there is a revision configuration which you can use.
A few moments later.
Okay, after some digging and studying some of these concepts again, I realized I have probably been mistaken and simply have done this interval to a lower amount of like to 1 minute perhaps, that also would work. There's no revision, I think. If I find it again, there is a way to do it with webhooks, but I have done this without webhooks before. But let's go on with the video, and if I could find what I did with the revisions, or if you know it, then just comment it down below. And if I found it, I'm just definitely going to announce it again, or just add a shorts for this, so to complete the video. But let's continue with this. What else do I need? So I need to release this repository now, right? So now I'm just gonna come to my releases, and here I have, again, I say every 1 minute do the release of the smart home into the home namespace, and everything else is the same as before, and this is my specific configuration. So it is not on your side. You are probably gonna have your own values, but this is for me and on my own cluster. So this part is just relevant to me only. And then this is the rest of the configuration. I'm just basically gonna tell I need a helm release, and I need to release a chart, and the specifications of the chart the chart is stored here, and the source of the chart is my Git repository. It's going to just basically fetch the Git repository, put it into this directory, and run the helm upgrade install based on this. And where is it going to install? It's also going to install it on the home repository. So after I apply this now, helm release added, and every time you want a quick reaction of helm, just come here and then reconcile this one, and you should be able to get your results as soon as possible. So as you see, my workload is added. The installation is probably gonna fail because some config maps and so on are missing. They're not going to install them. But let's see if at least, yeah, so at least it installed some of the pods, but they will not run, and it will not go green as long as you have misconfigured pods. So if I come to here, also as you see, if I come to my helm chart, it also created the helm chart. And one other thing which is interesting now, yeah, I already clicked here, it also going to tell me what's wrong. So it says helm install failed because invalid path cannot be used within the path prefix. Yeah, so it's an older Nginx configuration, and it's not going to be applied with the current Nginx configuration that I have for this cluster. So after you have resolving all of these different errors that you get on helm install, you're going to go green as well, and then you should be good to go. Well, this one was a quick video, and well, basically Flux is pretty easy. I just wanted to give you the idea on how you can use it and how easy it is to set up everything together. I had some copy pasting from before, but those copy pasting were not a big deal, right? Because I just needed the Git repository, I needed the helm release, and the helm release was going to just release my helm chart inside that Git repository. Yeah, that was just as straightforward as I just said. I introduced to you an extension. I showed you how you can get your deployment tokens, where to find the documentations. I'm going to also link all of them in the description. With all that being said, I'm happy that you came up to the end of this video. Until next time, have fun coding, and don't forget to introduce this to your DevOps engineer, and cheers.